Hey guys, so glad you're here. I'm going to invite us to take a little different perspective in our practice today. So, I'm a big fan of routines, habits, things that can be really soothing for our nervous system. I think they're also really good often for our wellness, right? We have an exercise routine, ways that we eat, times that we get to our mat. And so I find it can also be a little bit of a balance between finding the routine that helps to support us without slipping into a place that feels like we're coming from autopilot, right? That it's just rote, this thing that we do all the time. And so as we practice today, I'll invite us to shift more into a beginner's mindset, right? To take a fresh perspective on poses that we probably do over and over again throughout the lifetime of our practice and see it as though we're doing it for the first time and see if that can help you to stay really present in your body and your mind as you practice. If you have a block or blankets around, grab some stuff like that. If not, we make do with what we have. Let's go ahead and start in child's pose. Bring your big toes together, take your knees out wide. Let your hips settle back to your heels. And stretch your arms out long in front of you. Bring your forehead down to your mat. And give yourself enough space for your belly to rest between your legs. If it feels good, let your hips start to settle back a little further towards your heels. And just take a moment here to start to settle into the rhythm of your breath. Even this that we do at the beginning of probably every practice can just become a habit. And that can be a good thing. We find that rhythm to our breath easily. But are we paying full attention to how we do it? So really start to tune into how your breath feels today. The length of your inhale and your exhale. Where you're breathing into. Does your breath feel smooth or a little glitchy this morning or this evening, whenever you're practicing? And take just a few more breaths like that to settle in. Just really shift your full attention to each round of breath. With your next inhale, side forward, root down through your hands, and as you exhale, press back downward facing dog. So here's a pose if you've been practicing. Even if you're new to practice, you've done maybe hundreds of times already, thousands of time over the lifetime of our practice. And so see if you can just really settle into how it feels today. Notice where there's space in your body. What are the things that are feeling a little less flexible today? And get really clear with your foundation. So as you spread through your fingers, root down through your fingertips. Press your hands strongly down to your mat as you lengthen your hips back. Squeeze your kneecaps up towards your thighs. Find some strength in the front of your legs. Maybe imagine it's the very first time you've ever done this pose. Next, inhale, side forward, high plank pose. And with your exhale, bent knees or straight legs, lower all the way down to your belly. And take your hands back by your sides, press through the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift up through head, chest, shoulders. Exhale, lower down. A couple times like that with your breath. Press down through your feet to strengthen your legs. Inhale, lift up head, chest, shoulders, arms. Reach your fingertips back. Exhale, lower down. And one more inhale, flow it up, stretch back, hug your shoulders back. And exhale, lower down. Bring your hands back by your ribs. Press to tabletop. And then walk your knees together. Tuck your toes under and walk the inner edges of your feet together. Settle your hips back to your heels. And so toe squat, you can even reach back. Just check the little pinky toes are tucked under there too. A few options here. You can keep your hands down to your mat. You can give yourself a little bit more support with a block. A foam roller works really well too if you have one of those. Or bring your hands to your thighs. This one might bring up a little bit more sensation. So be mindful of where your edge is, but use the sensation to help really draw you into the pose. I think that little bit of stronger sensation can be a great way to anchor our minds into what we're doing. If it helps, close your eyes or soften your gaze. And really, each practice is a new experience. We know our bodies are different day to day when we come to our mat. And even our mindset, right? What's happened that day, that week, that month. The set of experiences that we bring with us are different too. Walk your hands forward, press back, down dog. Go slow, even through the transitions, mindful of how everything feels as you move in and out of the shape. And take a full breath in, press down through your hands. And full breath out, press back through your heels. Inhale, side forward, high plank. And then again, exhale, bent knees or straight legs, lower all the way to your belly. And press the tops of your feet, bring your arms long by your sides. Inhale, lift up, head, chest, arms, locust pose, Shalabhasana. Right, stay here or float your legs up as well. And take a full breath. Maybe it feels the same, maybe it feels different from the first round. Exhale, lower down. Hands by your ribs, come back tabletop. Right, so same thing, knees together, tuck your toes under, inner edges of your feet together. And then walk your hands back. Hands to rest in front of you, or hands to your thighs, right? Or in between with a block if you've got that. So even with the repetition, each one's a little different. As our bodies start to open and move, notice how each piece might shift a little bit. Walk your hands forward again, press back, down dog. Inhale, lift to your toes. Bend your knees, exhale, look forward, and then walk, step, or take a little hop to the front of your mat. Anchor down through your feet. Inhale, lengthen forward halfway. Notice it like it's for the first time as you lengthen out through your spine. Exhale, fold in. Feel free to bend your knees if that feels good here. Good. Press your feet down, hug your legs together. Inhale, stretch forward halfway. Exhale, fold. One more time, notice the repetition and the change. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And step your right foot back. Plant your whole back heel down to take a little shorter stance and take your left foot out a little bit wider, pyramid pose. Again, feel free to bend your knee or use blocks here if that would feel nice to have a little bit more support. And hug your legs in. Dial your left hip back. And as you root down through your feet, soften through the top of your head. Really let go of the weight of your head and neck and shoulders. Notice how this feels in your body today.
Inhale, stretch forward halfway. Just plant your hands, step forward again to the front of your mat. Exhale, fold in. Lift and lengthen halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale, step your left foot back. So same thing, hold back, heel down. Turn your toes, back toes out an inch or two. Maybe take your right foot a little wider if that feels more stable or more space for your hips. If a block here feels good or two blocks, do that. Squeeze your legs in. Dial your right hip back. From that strength in your legs, soften through your upper body. So sometimes even the cues into the pose or the refinement are the same, but they land really differently in our body day to day. Right? Or there's ones that we need some days, other days we let them go. And so just notice what works in your body today. Inhale, lengthen forward halfway. And again, plant your hands, step all the way forward to the front of your mat. And press your feet down, lengthen forward halfway, inhale. And fold, exhale. Root your feet down, inhale, rise all the way up. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands together at heart center. And take a breath, and as you root down through your feet, lift your heart to your hands. Hug your shoulders back. And find a full, steady breath. Right? So if Ujjayi breath feels good, with that resonant sound of the breath, move with that. Or just find the rhythm that feels steady and soothing for you today. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, long spine, fold forward. Follow your breath down. Inhale, stretch forward halfway. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back. And this time, take a nice long stance front to back. So you're up on the ball of your back foot in this low lunge. Strengthen your legs to center, squeeze in. Get strong through your back leg. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, settle down into your front knee. And keep that strength of your legs to center. And see where your left hip is. Does that need to come back a little bit? And as you anchor down through your feet, reach up through your fingertips, create length in your spine. Another really familiar pose, probably. Really tap into what has to work here to support your body. Where does it create space? And next, exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. Inhale. Exhale, twist, bring your right elbow across. Keep hugging in, find that stability through your foundation. Lengthen out through the top of your head. Move your chest towards your thumbs. Feel the rotation in your spine. Where is there some good movement? Where are the stopping points today? Inhale, unwind, come on back to center. Exhale, plant your hands. And then pivot your toes to the long end of your mat. And so set up that wide-legged forward fold. Point your toes straight forward. And take a wide enough stance, side to side, so you get some length through the inner legs. And then press your feet down, fold in. And you can walk your hands back to your ankles, or walk your hands back behind you. And from the strength of your legs, release the weight of your head. Allow your upper body to fold in. And sometimes our familiarity with poses also gives us a particular preconceived idea around that shape. The ones that we love, the ones that are more challenging, and our mind triggers that before our body even goes there. Like, oh, my hamstrings are tight. Ooh, hip openers are tough. So as a beginner, the good thing is we don't have those so much. We just experience each pose for what it is. So that shift, coming back to that beginner's mindset, can be helpful sometimes for letting go of those. Next, inhale, stretch forward halfway. Exhale, walk your hands to the back of your mat. Set up low lunge to the back end. Right. Strong through your legs. If you need to organize your feet, take a wider stance, do that. Inhale, come all the way up. Good. Exhale, settle down into your front knee. Right. Strong through your back leg, lifted through your belly. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. Good. Take another breath in here, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, twist. Bring your left elbow across to your right leg. And find a gentle pressure of your hands into one another. Stretch long from your back heel all the way through the top of your head. And start to rotate the center of your chest towards your thumbs. And find a full, steady breath. Just feel into what your body's doing right now, this moment. Inhale, unwind, come on back to center. Exhale, plant your hands. You can pivot your feet to the long end of your mat. And so this time, you can add the shoulder opener. Take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. It might feel nice to take a nice bend in your elbows too, so you can start to work the heels of your hands towards one another. Anchor your feet. Zip up through the inseam of your leg. And then again, soften through your head and neck. You can keep your thumbs right there or reach your arms up overhead. And sometimes even the variations that we take, we do by rote. It's on autopilot. Notice if it's the right one today. Unwind your hands. Inhale, lengthen forward halfway. Exhale, walk your hands to the front of your mat. And then step back, down dog. Inhale, slide forward, high plank. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Good. Press the tops of your feet, tone your belly. Inhale, come up, cobra pose. Good, pause. Stay strong with your legs. Draw your shoulders back and down. Right. Use the strength of your back to lift, more so than pressing your hands. Take a breath in. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Tuck your toes, press back down dog. And take a full breath in. Big breath out. Inhale to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Walk, step, or a little hop to the front of your mat. And press your feet down. Inhale, stretch forward halfway. Exhale, fold. And root down, inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, chair pose, Utkatasana. Notice the reaction of your mind. Maybe I say that because my experience in poses, sometimes you bring up the yes or the in certain poses. Because you can keep hands lifted or bring hands to your heart. Now shift your weight onto your left leg. Stack your right knee on top. Eagle pose, Garudasana. You can use your toes there like a kickstand. Maybe start to wrap around. Find the variation that works best today. And bring your arms out wide. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. Right, take shoulders, that's a really nice variation also. And then lift your elbows up in line with your shoulders to start. Squeeze your legs into center. Stay strong through your belly. Help find that stability from your core. And take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, start to fold in. Bring your elbows towards your knees. And let your back round. Move your chin to your chest. It almost feels like cat pose in your back body. Let's see if you can maintain a steady breath. And just feel your body adjust, adapt to the little fluctuations. Inhale, come all the way up. Unwind your legs, bring your knee up. Exhale, press your foot back. Unwind your arms, warrior three. Good, arms by your side or arms up overhead. See what feels right today. Good. Flex your back foot. Right, dial your outer right hip down. Stay lifted through your belly. Let's notice how your body works. The reaction of your mind here today. Full breath in. And then exhale, release both hands down. Bring your right foot back down to your mat. Inhale, stretch forward halfway. Exhale, fold. And anchor your feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Now let's take the second side. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, chair pose. And start by settling the weight back into your heels. And again, keep arms lifted or bring hands together at heart center. Find the steadiness on both feet to start. Then shift your weight to your right leg. Stack your left knee on top. Right, take the variation that feels most supportive, most appropriate today. Good. Inhale, both arms out. Exhale, wrap left arm under right. Good. Anchor down through your standing foot. Hug your legs in. Lift your elbows up. I think so much of the body that we bring to our practice can really depend on what we've been doing or not been doing day to day. And so such a good time to pay attention to that. Next exhale, fold your elbows towards your knees. Round through your back body. Right, so know that towards might just be an inch or two. For some of us, you can even play with bringing your elbows past your knees. Round through your back. Bring your chin towards your chest. And if you fall out like I do while I'm talking and balancing, just come back. And next, inhale, come all the way back up, bring your knee up. Exhale, press back. Right, warrior three, choose your arm variation. Strong through your floating leg and bring your outer left hip down. Stay lifted again through your belly to help support the balance. I think we even know that balance poses can be so different side to side. It's almost like having a fresh body side to side. Inhale here. Exhale, hands down. Bring both feet down. Good. Stretch forward halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Step back, high plank. Right. Come through a vinyasa if that would feel good. Or come straight to down dog or a breath or two in child's pose. And sometimes even the transitions of our practice we take on autopilot. Like we always have to take the vinyasa or we always take a child's pose. Give yourself that moment, just that little pause. You need to think, why, what? How does that affect my body today? Next, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot through. And pyramid pose, just like when we started, so shorten your stance, get your back heel down. Squeeze your legs into center and dial your left hip back. And then go ahead and take your left hand to your left hip. And you're going to walk your right hand across. So if you want support of a block, that might be really nice here. A water bottle works really well too if you don't have a block at home. Right, so inside or outside of your left foot, Again, choose a variation that works best today. You might be feeling a little less flexible in hips and shoulders, so back off just a little bit. Meet your body where it's at today. Squeeze in, lengthen out through the top of your head. And then keep drawing your left hip back as you twist to the left. Revolve triangle. Right, hand to hip or reach your top arm up. Root down. And then reach up through your fingertips. Hug your left shoulder onto your back. Just notice how this shape feels today. As we keep coming back to that full present awareness of each pose, to help our mind stay anchored, to help our body really stay anchored. Inhale, unwind, and then walk your hands forward. You can bring your block with you. Right, so if you're going to use it here, take it underneath your right hand, lift your right leg up. And then just like Warrior 3, flex your foot, dial your outer hip down. Tone through your belly. And then again, left hand to left hip. Lengthen out from your heel to the top of your head. And then twist to the left, revolved half moon. Right? And there might not be a ton of actual twist. So start to find the rotation that you can with the levelness of your hips. Right? If this pose is newer to you, it gives us a chance to really shift into that beginner's mindset. What are the adjustments? How does it feel? Inhale, unwind. Set your block to the side, step back, down dog. If a vinyasa in between would feel good to rinse out, do that. Just notice if you're doing it on autopilot or if it's by choice. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step through. And it's the same thing. Shorten your stance a little, get your back heel down. You might even feel good to take your right foot out a little bit wider again. Sometimes that gives you more stability once we move into the twist. Strong legs into center. Right hand to right hip. And then walk your left hand across, inside or out. Right, block or not. What do you need today? Stretch out through the top of your head, find that length in your spine, and twist to your right. And stay anchored down through your back heel. Press your front foot down and forward, and slide your right hip back. And stay there with hand to hip or reach your top arm up. Find steady breath. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, walk your hands forward. So hands underneath your shoulders. Again, use a block if that would feel good. Lift your left leg. Level your hips. And then again, right hand to right hip. Lengthen from heel to crown, tone your belly. And twist right. Revolve to half moon. And sometimes just the challenge of the balance keeps us really present in the pose. Hand to hip or reach your arm up. Good. Take a breath and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, both feet down. Good. Feet out wide, settle your hips down, squat, malasana. Bring your hands together at your heart. Find the right stance for your feet, so wider for more space, narrower for a little bit more sensation, or if you have a lot of mobility in your hips. Hug your inner legs in towards your arms. Resist, press back. Lift your chest, lengthen down through your tailbone. Take a full round of breath. And release your hands. You can just gently tilt back onto your bottom. If you want the support of a blanket underneath your hips, you can do that. It's just nice to give yourself a little bit of support. Bring your feet together, take your knees out wide, Baddha Konasana butterfly. With your hands by your hips, lengthen up through your spine. Press your feet together. And you might stay right here. And if you're getting plenty of opening through hips and inner legs, stay. Right? Or if your knees feel like they're lifted way up high, sometimes it's nicer just to hang out here. If it feels like you're ready to move forward, walk your hands. Again, check in. Why do you take the variation that you take? How does it feel in your body? Is it what feels right? Is it what you think you should be doing? What would actually best support your practice today? Sometimes it's the variation, sometimes it's the way we use props or don't use props. When we shift our perspective back to feeling like things are new and fresh like a beginner, I think it really engages our mind. Think about how we use each pose, what the benefits are, and how we can best find the variation in that shape that works for us. Walk yourself back up. Help your knees back together. Slide forward off of your support. And come all the way down onto your back. Set your feet up for bridge pose. We did a lot of forward folding over the legs, so just a couple back bends to open up. Be gentle. Just find the depth that works for you. So hands by your sides, root down through your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. It doesn't have to be a big, huge back bend. See if you can just create some space along the front of the thighs and through your belly. Press down through the back of your head. Press your heels down, traction them back. And take a breath in. And then exhale, slowly lower. And pause right there. Right? Sometimes our habit is to draw the legs in or to take knees wide. Just take a breath right here. And then round two, press into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. Maybe your body comes a little bit more in this one, maybe not. You can keep your hands there or interlace your hands under your body. Nestle your shoulders. Traction your heels back towards your shoulders. See if that gives you a little bit more height through your hips. And lengthen your knees away from your hips. And keep some strength of your inner leg. Not drawing together, just trying to not let your knees splay way out to the side. And take another breath in. And then again, exhale, slowly lower down. Take 2 full breaths here. Just pause that moment to allow your spine to come back to neutral before we move into other things. Then draw your knees into your chest. And take a hold of the outer edges of your feet for happy baby. And if that's feeling today like, my feet are really far away, take a hold behind your thighs. And so you get the same shape without having to reach for your feet. Wherever you are, flex your feet. And stay heavy through the back of your head and your shoulders. Take a couple of breaths. Release your feet, squeeze your knees in, curl your forehead up to your knees, take a big breath in. Exhale, stretch it out, Shavasana. If you want a little extra support, grab that. or layers. And just let your body take up some space. And find the variation even here that works today. I mean, sometimes this traditional shavasana, just laying down, doesn't feel the most comfortable. It doesn't really allow us to settle into the pose. If you'd rather take a reclined butterfly, or just bend your knees, or bring your hands to your belly, what supports you? And as you close your eyes, settle back into that rhythm of your breath, just like where we started. How does it feel now? And can you imagine like you're settling in here for the first time? You're giving yourself this gift, these moments of rest, and how that nourishes and supports you. When you're ready to come out, take a full stretch, reach your arms up overhead. And draw your knees to your chest, roll onto your right side. Just take a moment to pause there. And so I invite you to try this practice throughout the rest of the day or your week with the day-to-day things, like the things that sometimes seem a little mundane that we do by habit. Folding laundry, doing the dishes, cleaning the house, driving to and from work, if you're doing that right now. And how can you bring in a little bit more present moment awareness, right? To notice it like you're doing it for the first time. And then just to notice what difference it makes. Bring yourself all the way back up to sitting. Join your hands together at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing practice today. The light in me honors the light in all of us. Namaste.